For us at Roland, our mission over the past 20 years has been to create the ultimate drumming experience.
All engineers in Roland always try to design the future of the V-drums every day.
The strength in V-drums is the sum of all the parts together, working together in harmony.
Since we released the first V-drums in 1997, we've been developing V-drums based on the three important key elements, including the sound source, parts, and sensor technology.
The sound module is the heart of the V-drums kit.
We always start out by sampling real acoustic instruments in very, very high-end studios, which work with the sound inside the module, so that might allow you to edit the instrument just like you would with an acoustic drum.
The interface of Roland V-drums gives the player the most genuine acoustic drum experience.
Especially parts are the first touch point with drummer, and mesh head makes Roland V-drums special and unique.
In conjunction with the interface, Roland V-drums have the most advanced trigger pads and trigger sensing technology.
It's about making sure that every stick hit, no matter where you play, no matter how hard you play, all of that information is picked up in very, very high detail.
The playability of our sensors wouldn't matter at all if we didn't have structural integrity that holds its weight and allows the player to use it for years and years and years.
Inside our V-drums, we always make sure there's a way to connect with music.
To be able to use our forward-thinking technology in ways that are unique to them with user sample imports,
An internal metronome,
Bluetooth connectivity.
coach function to help somebody really practice and hone their skills.
We look to push the evolution of electronic drums.
But we still keep focusing the drummer's original fundamental playability to be best.
On behalf of Roland, I really appreciate worldwide users supporting V-drums.
Hello. Thank you. Hello and welcome to our Roland Totally Drums event. My name's Jules and I'll be your host for today. So as you've just seen in our video there, at Roland we are proud and passionate producers of world-class musical instruments, none more so than with our electronic drum and percussion products. We've got an illustrious history in producing electronic drums. In fact, that journey began for us in the 1980s, but it was perhaps in 1997 with the introduction of the V-drums brand and of the TD17 Series that we gained the reputation for the best electronic drumming experience. The collective members of the global drum and percussion team are all drummers. I'm one too. We live and breathe drums every single day, just like so many of our customers. We enjoy to play, we enjoy to practice, perform, and enjoy the creativity and freedom of expression that drumming every day can bring. It's that passion for drumming that drives our relentless innovation. We are constantly seeking new ways to develop sound, triggering technology, pad technology, sensing, and ways to connect with our modules, all with the aim of being the best. At Roland, we design the future. If you look at the vast array of digital electronic percussion instruments in the market today, you will notice there's one thing they all have in common. They all took inspiration from something that Roland have already done. We've had many firsts at Roland. The first electronic drum module with real-time editing of sound, just as you would with an acoustic drum. The 2-ply tension-adjustable mesh head. The pads with shells. Hi-hats that fit to an acoustic hi-hat stand. Cymbals with a natural swinging motion. All of these were brought to you by Roland. We're very proud to present a whole range of brand new products today, and through the course of today's presentation, we'll be going through those one by one and in detail. But to kick things off, we're very proud to present to you the brand new TD17 Series V-drums, and I'd like to welcome international V-drums product artist Michael Schack to show us what it can do.
Welcome to Totally Drums 18. We'd like to push your drumming. like to push your drumming. Now crank it up. Good boy.
We wanted to make sure everybody was awake, so thanks very much, Michael. There'll be more from Michael later on. So the TD17 series represents a significant advancement in our core V-Drums lineup. Through innovation in both sound technology and triggering technology developed for the flagship TD50 series, we've been able to bring a level of playability and expression to our everyday V-Drums that until now has never been available. Through our research and talking to the customers that have played V-Drums over the years, it's clear that acoustic drums have their place, of course, and they're the mainstay of the live stage. But when it comes to everyday playing at home, in practice, in rehearsals, in teaching, even in music production, drummers everywhere are already harnessing the immediate benefits of V-Drums. From ease of connectivity all the way through to low noise, when it comes to everyday playing and performance and practice, V-Drums are the go-to kit of choice for so many drummers to help them with their playing and develop their drumming skills. Our concept for the TD17 is very simple. When any drummer plays an electronic kit, that kit should be able to reflect their skills and their creativity. But more than that, it should inspire them to play more and more, to help them to hone their skills, develop, and keep challenging themselves to be better drummers. So that's why we're calling the TD17 series the electronic drums to help you become a better drummer faster. So we've specifically developed the TD17 in 3 key areas to help it do that. First of all, we've developed exceptional pads and sensing for unrivaled playing feel. So drumming is all about feel. And the pads that you hit help to define and shape the playing experience, even allowing acoustic drumming techniques to be used. Meanwhile, the sensing picks up all the information from a drummer's hits, every individual hit, one by one, no matter how fast. And that important drumming information is then sent to the module, works with the sound engine to give true-to-life and natural expression. The TD17 Sound is uncompromised with incredible dynamics and great customization. So the sound that comes out of the TD17 series is a key part of the electronic drumming experience. Realistic sound that authentically recreates acoustic drums, responds smoothly to every input and captures every nuance and subtlety of the drummer's playing becomes very important to the player. We've also made sure that there's great ways to connect with the TD17 to make it musical and to make that motivational as well. Essentially, when you play drums, drumming is fun. It's a great way to help you to practice play, get your drumming skill down, etc. And drumming by itself can be fun, but it's in the connection with music that really helps drummers to find their motivation to play. So we want to make sure that when somebody plays an electronic drum kit, it is a musical experience, not just a drumming experience as well. So in a few moments, I'm going to ask my colleague from Roland, Japan, from Hamamatsu, the headquarters, to come on stage, and we're going to talk about the brand new TD17 series and explore it in detail. But before we do that, let's just take a quick look at international drumming star Anna Canilli's getting to grips with the TD17. So that's Annika there getting to grips with the TD17. So I'd now like to welcome to the stage my colleague Takehiro Murai, who's from the R&D department in Japan, and he's actually the TD17 project manager. Yeah. Hi, Murai-san.
Yeah, hi, Jules.
So, Raisin, the TD17 is all about becoming a better drummer faster.
Yeah.
But can you tell us exactly how it does that?
Our concept was to create a kit that any drummer can enjoy the drumming and daily exercise, regardless of customer's level of drumming abilities. So we defined the developing concept as the best for practice. This means when a drummer wants to enjoy the drumming and improve the skills, TD17 should be the best kit to support this goal. So we designed the TD17 based on this concept. Jules, please imagine. When they play the kit, it should accurately reflect the same experience they have when playing the acoustic drum. For example, we received from some customer who just started to learn the drumming with V drums. They still need to learn and practice real acoustic drum techniques using acoustic drums. I think this is one of the problems when they playing the electric drums. So we designed and developed the TD17, which helps to make the playing experience as close as possible to acoustic drums.
Okay, so we want to make the playing experience of the TD17 as close as possible to acoustic drums and make that transition easy between electronic and acoustic. But how is the TD17 achieving that?
Yeah. TD17 has 3 newly designed parts, which makes feels and playability more accurate. The larger 12 inches snare part, PDX12, we created the VH10 hi-hat, which fits to an acoustic hi-hat stand and has real motion. And also we developed a new kick part, KD10. Additionally, TD17 was developed to inherit from TD50 technologies. It means sound quality is higher and more expressive. We combined these new parts and advanced sensing technology together with the TD17 module. So, playing experience is dramatically improved. This playability will make it possible to play with authentic drumming techniques and natural feeling. This naturally will make drummer want to play more, want to practice more. Practice is important. Practice is a key to improve their skills.
Absolutely right. Okay, so we want to help people to play a little bit more. We know what the TD17 has now with the new pads and the module, but let's take a look at the kit configurations. So overall, we've got 3 TD17 drum sets, and starting with the TD17 KL. Now, the L on the end of the TD17 KL, what does that stand for?
L means light. This is the starting model of the TD70 kit.
And of course, with that, we've got all of the expression and playability of the TD17 module, but a slightly more basic pad set with rubber tom pads and an 8-inch mesh snare pad. But then we go up to the TD17 KV, which incorporates that brand new PDX12 12-inch mesh snare pad, as we mentioned, and the new KD10 kick pad as well. And the module here has also got Bluetooth.
Yes. We also developed new technology, such as Bluetooth connectivity for wireless audio streaming to the module from smartphone.
Great. So the TD17 KVX is also here, and that's the upper model of the TD17 series now. That's got the PDX12 snare pad, the 12-inch snare pad, the KD10 kick unit, but it's also got a second crash and the hi-hats as well, the VH10s.
Yes. The upper model is the TD70 KVX. KBX is enhanced cymbal parts compared to the KB kit. So KBX features a VH10 hi-hat and larger 12 inches and 13 inches crash and ride cymbals. In addition, it has a second crash, so it is a perfect model for home practicing.
Perfect. Okay, we're going to take a closer look at the TD17 module in detail in just a few moments. But before that, let's hear from some of our engineers in Japan who actually developed the product.
TD17 Sound module is inherited from the technology of flagship TD50. So sound quality is really expressive to create subtle nuances, such as ghost note of snare, various hi-hat expressions, and wider dynamic range.
今回の TD17 では音楽のジャンルの多様化や現代のドラマーの思考、それらに合わせキット音色をバランスよく揃えるようにしました。そのために国内外のさまざまな国のさまざまなスタイルのドラマーやクリエイターたちとコラボレーションしながらドラムサウンドを作り込んできました。単に数を揃えるのではなく、厳しい基準で完成度やドラムキットとしてのバランスを重視し、使える音色を制作していきました。
So I'd like to welcome back to the stage again, Michael Schack. So Michael, we're with the TD17 module here, which has got an increased level of expression, but can you tell us more about it?
Absolutely. First of all, let's listen to the snare drum sound. Lots of dynamics. But also these sounds are coming from the TD50 library, and it's the very first time actually in the world and in the Roland era that flagship model sounds are now available in this everyday module. On top of that, not only these sounds are more dynamic, but also we worked on them to be very natural and give you a very natural playing feel, especially also for the cymbals. And these sounds also come from the TD50 library. So even the cymbals, high-resolution samples, but on top of that, many multi-layers, very smooth transition are now available for the TD17.
So I know that the reason that sounds are very expressive in the TD50 series is because of the prismatic sound technology, and we've got that in the TD17 too. So can you explain exactly what prismatic is and what it does?
Exactly, it needs some explanation. Actually, many viewers will already know TD11, TD15, TD30 series, which use the supernatural engine. The prismatic engine takes that technology a big step further. As you know, when a drummer plays on an acoustic set, okay, you have a snare drum, but it also interacts with the environment. It's not just the shell in the head, it's also the way it's mounted on the snare stand actually making contact with the floor. That makes your snare drum sound. So with prismatic engine, you have all these elements coming in. For instance, in this snare drum sound, and I'll take another one. When you play a roll, every roll is kind of unique. The attack is a little bit changed, also the reaction of the snare sound by itself, especially on a cymbal. When you start hitting a right cymbal, for instance, and it's not been played yet, it will sound like, for instance, type A. But when you hit it again, it's already vibrating, so the second hit will sound a little bit different. And this is actually what Prismatic Engine does. It listens to your playing and it adjusts the sounds a little bit to make every hit sound unique.
Okay, so it's really rich, it's really individual, and every stick hit, thanks to Prismatic, is going to sound individual. But you can also add something else to the TD17, right, to help you make an individual sound.
Exactly, and this is the big news for many people I know. You can do your own sample imports. So you can download any kind of sound source and put it inside a TD17 and play it from the pads. On top of that, you can layer it with all the internal sounds that are already in there. You can use the 50 preset kits, but you can even use a total of 100. But very important as well, these sounds, you can individually assign them on the rim or on the head, so you can have 4 different sounds on one dual pad, for instance. Let me show you an example with the snare drum. Okay, this is the standard TD17 snare drum sound. Natural feeling. Now let's add, for instance, a TR909 sound for the snare head. And it still sounds natural. And for the rim, this one can become this one. Add some bass drum. That's what I like.
So I also know that you were involved in the development of the TD17 Sound and the kit. So can you tell us a little bit more about that process?
Well, it was a full team effort, and it was different continents working together because every continent has different music tastes. So we made a long list of sounds that should be in the TD17, but we just not only put those sounds in there, we actually killed some of our darlings. Like the old sounds, let's replace those because TD17 needs to be a new drum set, new experience. So these sounds come from the TD50 library, mixed with the best refurbished sounds, especially for TD17, which come from the Supernatural library. But on top of that, we added some really new processed sounds because every drummer can use this drum set as a play-along and practice set. So we also listened to many of the hit songs. We went into the charts in different countries. We took the best sounds we could actually integrate in the TD17, not only for playing along to music and hit songs today, but also tomorrow. So hopefully people will totally like our plan.
Fantastic, thanks, Michael. So we now know more about the TD17 module, but how about the new pads? Let's hear from some of our engineers in Japan once again.
We noticed that most of the TD11 users were playing acoustic drums on the stage and played TD11 at home for practicing. Based on this concept, we developed the snare, kick, and hi-hat.
KD10 を開発するにあたり、そういったご意見に真摯に向き合ってデザインをしました。今回、さらに静粛性を高めるために着目したのは素材です。そこで、今回は部分的に柔らかいラバー素材を使用し、さらにノイズが発生しにくい構造を模索しました。また静粛性だけではなく、足元に向かってウイング状に広がるフレームと重心位置の調整によりコンパクトなサイズを保ったまま安定性を向上させていますので、安心してフットワークの練習をしていただくことができます。
クラストップレベルの12インチという広い画面は見た目だけでなく自然体でストロークできる安心感があり、また一般的に電子ドラムはリムへラバーを取り付けて打撃音を軽減させているため、リムはヘッドに対して高めになってしまいますが、新構造にすることでヘッドとリムの高さをアコースティックドラムと同じ高さにすることができました。
ローランドが長年電子ドラムを開発してきて得られた技術のエッセンスが注ぎ込まれたこの VH10 は、薄さ、軽さから得られる自然な揺れ、素早いフットワークに追従する演奏性、さらには耐久性までも兼ね備えています。
So I'd now like to welcome to the stage another of our International V-Drums product artists, Jordan West. So Jordan, you're with the TD17 KVX kit here, which is the top model in the series, and that's the one that features all 3 of the brand new pads. But can you describe for us how different they are?
Yeah, so with the snare drum, which is my personal favorite of the new pads, it's bigger than maybe some of the other V-Drums pads you might have seen in the past. Whoops, it won't stay. All right, it's bigger than some of the pads you've seen in the past, which for me really creates more of an acoustic feel. So usually you're going for the center of the pad. When the pad is really small, that ends up feeling a little different. So having it be a larger surface is great. The mesh extends all the way to the edge, and you can adjust the tension, just like you can with many of our other V drums. The rim, like they mentioned in the video, is a great improvement. It's a lot closer to an acoustic rim height, and so you don't really have to change your technique, which is a huge deal.
So the snare drum's a key instrument for any drummer, but so are the hi-hats. Hi-hats can be really expressive. So can you tell us a little bit about the new VH10s?
Yeah, so the VH10 is similar to like the VH11, VH13 in the fact that it is, two separate parts. One stationary bottom part that reads the up and down motion, and then a top cymbal. What's different about it is that it's so much lighter. So it's a lot easier to manipulate. It's a lot easier to do barks that are actually, you don't have to work for them. I think in the past, it's always been a comment, you have to work for, expressiveness or barks, foot splashes. This, you don't have to think about it as much. So I really love the new hi-hats.
So we've also got the new KD10 kick pad as well, which looks very similar to the previous ones that we've done. So what are the differences here?
So it's really similar because the original pad was basically they analyzed an acoustic batter head and how it moved in super slow motion, and then they recreated that with cloth and damping material. So with this drum, they just added a little more damping and they made the footprint a little bit bigger so that it doesn't move around. And as you saw Michael play, he plays super hard and it didn't move around. So that's a good testament to how durable it is. And it's a lot quieter too because of the added damping material.
Okay, so here's a more challenging question for you. The new pads might look remarkably similar to some of our other pads that we've already produced over the years. So just exactly what are the differences? How big a difference are the new pads?
Well, for me, it's like Roland V drums are already, we've been told by customers and players that they feel great. They're some of the best pads you can get already. So to me, it's just a bunch of small evolutions that make a huge difference. Just the size of the drum and, a centimeter or two of height on the rim and, a few ounces on the cymbal. Those are small changes, but they really do push the product forward and push V drums forward.
Okay, great. So the sensing, of course, is an important part of the pads, as we've said. So maybe you could just show us a little bit about how sensitive those pads can be.
Sure.
Nice playing. So we've seen all about the new pads there. Let's take a look at some of the training functions inside the TD17 module that can help somebody to improve their playing.
So the time check function is a great tool to visualize how precise your timing is. It shows you in % how steady you can hold the time while playing a groove. And it's great for a daily warm-up, and also you can monitor your progress with this tool.
So we've just seen Annika there trying the time check function. So the coach mode that's inside the TD17 module, how can that really help somebody to improve their drumming and stay motivated?
Well, a lot of times practicing with a metronome can get a little bit monotonous, a little bit boring. So this kind of makes it more exciting, more enjoyable. And the cool thing about it is that as you get more advanced and as you change up your practicing, you can change the settings. So you can, adjust tempo, time signature, all that stuff. With quiet count, which is one she didn't show, you can actually play along to a metronome for like 3 bars, 4 bars, whatever, and then it will stop for a certain number of bars. So that actually allows you to check, your stability as a drummer, and it will grade you, and you can see how you improve over time. They also have a rudimental warm-up that's like 15 minutes long, which is really nice because it guides you through it. You don't really have to think about it. It's great for if you're going to do a long session or practice for a long time.
So a really engaging way to help your practice.
Yeah.
But of course, a lot of people like to play along with music as well. So we've also got the brand new Bluetooth function inside the TD17. This is the first module we've ever produced that has introduced Bluetooth there. But can you just explain for us what it does?
Yeah, so essentially you can just pair your smartphone with the module, which is really convenient and I think essential for, today's musician. They don't want a lot of hassle. So you can just use my smartphone to play off YouTube, my favorite songs, drumless tracks, lessons, whatever.
So just suppose that somebody doesn't have a Bluetooth smartphone or something like that. Are there other ways to connect with music in the TD17?
For sure. I mean, we always have a stereo mix-in on most of our products. This has it too. So you can definitely do that with your laptop or whatever with the cable. You can also load songs in via SD card, which I think is really great. And the cool thing is that the internal songs and the songs that you load in can be slowed down or sped up. So you can actually take a song that has a tricky part, slow it down, and learn it, and then speed it back up.
Cool. Could you just show us a little bit of that?
Sure. So here's the original song. I'll let it play for a sec, and then I'll slow it down, speed it back up.
Cool, and I think the even cooler thing is that you can do that.
Thank you.
Round of applause.
Thank you. That was called funk.
And of course, you can do that with songs, your own songs that are even on the SD card as well, which is great.
Yeah.
Jordan, thank you very much. That's great. So now it's time to introduce a very special guest. For many drummers, getting noticed and having drumming talents recognised is quite hard to achieve in a world where attention is already divided between many others that are hoping to do exactly the same thing. Our guest started by posting some videos out on YouTube, but thanks to his dedication and his constant practice, it wasn't long before he got some serious offers to tour and to play professionally. He's now got hundreds of thousands, in fact millions of followers on YouTube. Would you please welcome to the stage our very special guest to perform on the TD17, Luke Holland. Luke, that was awesome. You're a very gifted, talented drummer. So earlier this year, Roland V Drums, we started a partnership with Melodic, which is an interactive training and learning platform. With us now is Sam Stokes from Melodic to tell us a little bit more. Hi, Sam.
Hi. Hi, everyone.
So, Sam, can you tell us exactly what Melodic is?
Yep, so Melodic is a revolutionary new app that is changing the way that we learn to play and practice the drums. You know, it's great to be here today at this Totally Drums event, and it's amazing to see how much technology has changed the way that we look at drums. we're doing the same thing for music education. You know, learning an instrument is really hard. It takes lots of dedication, but more than anything, it takes practice, and it takes lots of it. What Melodics does is to help make practice fun. It's what a great tutor would do naturally, and we also help you develop really strong practice habits. You get immediate feedback on your performances, and we've got great practice tools to help you identify mistakes and to fix these up quickly. You get a real sense of progress, which is a huge motivator.
So how exactly does Melodics connect with V-drums then, Sam?
So Roland and Melodics have got a really close partnership, and every set of V-drums actually comes with Melodics support. So you just connect your V-drums to your laptop running Melodics via USB, and instantly you get access to 40 free lessons that you can get started with.
So we've asked Luke to just stick around for a minute, so I think that you and Luke are going to just show us exactly what Melodics can do.
Yep. Great. So, you know, as I said, for V-drums customers, it's just plug and play. There's no additional setup. We've done all of that for you, so you can get practicing really quickly. So as you can see, we are now in the learning screen of Melodics, which is where all of our lessons are from grade 1 all the way through to grade 15. And these are ordered in terms of difficulty. And as you can see, there's a number of stars you can win at each grade as you progress through. We also have courses, and these are groupings of lessons that are based around specific learning outcomes or developing, you know, your confidence in certain techniques and styles. So we're going to go back into lessons now, and we're going to take you through a quick lesson just to, you know, give you a taster of how it feels. So we're going to go to grade 13, and we're going to play a lesson called NT. So here is the pre-play screen, and you can see which drum hits we're going to be using in this lesson. And also, if you go to the left, you can also see that we've got our lessons broken into all these individual steps, which helps break down complicated drum patterns into their basic elements. So if we go back in, we're going to play the final step of this lesson. We can preview it first so we know what we're going to be getting into. And now we can go ahead and play the lesson. Great, so as you can see, we get instant feedback on the performance. Well done. So, you know, straight away you can see just how well you did. You know, you can see how many notes you got perfect. You can see if you're early or if you're late or if you've misplayed notes. And, you know, you can also see a graph of your performance. You can really see that progress over time, which is a huge motivator for your practice so you can keep going. So Melodics is a free download from melodics.com. And yeah, as I said before, all V-drums customers get 40 free lessons. You just have to connect, and then you're good to go. So yeah, give it a go. It only takes 5 minutes a day to, you know, make real progress.
Okay, so I'd just like to ask Luke a question, actually. Yeah, round of applause for Sam. Thank you. Just a quick question for Luke. Now, Luke, you've been getting to grips with Melodics here, and you've tried it for the first time recently. Many drummers, including myself, we're always looking for new resources to help with our practice, and you know, to stay motivated to practice can be quite difficult. So, you know, with your kind of educator experience, what do you think of Melodics?
Yeah, I think Melodics is great, actually. I get asked very frequently about my practice routine and what I do for that kind of stuff, and I think this is, you know, a great way to inspire yourself with different ways, you know. And as Sam said, the key to improvement is practice. So what I like is there's ready-made stuff already here, ready to go. You know, it depends. If you're like looking for different genres and stuff like that, it's great. It helps develop your core skills and your timing, and everything's really centered around music, which I love. And yeah, you get that immediate feedback, and it's great. I love it.
Okay, fantastic. Sam and Luke, thank you very much for showing us what Melodics can do.
Oh, thank you.
So now, in addition to the TD17 series, we're actually launching 2 more V-drum kits today. So as you've just seen with the TD17 series, there are 3 kits in the lineup, the TD17 KL, KV, and the KVX. Now, for anyone that knows our V-drums, traditionally we always have 2 kits in the lineup, and by introducing the upper KVX top model, we've actually got 3 in the lineup. So just as there's 3 models in the TD17 series now, we're actually introducing another kit in the TD25 and TD50 series too. They're both going to gain from an upper model. Now the TD25 KVX and the TD50 KVX will sit at the top of the tree, and they'll offer further enhanced playability and aesthetics over the existing models in the lineup. So let's just have a quick look at the TD25 KVX in action first. So that's the TD25 KVX there being performed on by Michael. So as you've seen with that kit, it features the brand new KD180 18-inch bass drum. That all-new bass drum within this kit is a new product which is, of course, part of the kit, but also available separately as well, and is compatible with any V-drums, past or present. So anybody that wants that, that playability and that look, they can purchase the KD180 and instantly kind of get that image and that feel. We're going to learn more about the KD180 in just a second, but before we do that, let's just go back to the TD25 KVX setup and just have a look at the pads that come with that.
Just as the TD17 has the upper model, the KVX, we are now, Roland, releasing the TD25 KVX upper model as well. Now this drum set, as you can see, has an 18-inch bass drum and really has the classic feel and look of an acoustic drum set on a stage. Now, the drum kit is formulated around our TD25 Sound module. This module is ideal for dynamic, expressive playing, as well as customization of sounds for whatever you need. And all of the sounds that are in this module are formulated from the TD30, which was the Supernatural series of sounds. Those are very dynamic, very expressive, and again, with this module, you're able to customize that to get the true expression that you're going for in the music that you're trying to play. With that, we have larger tom pads. We've gone from 8-inch tom pads to 10-inch tom pads all the way around the kit. We have our PDX 100s, 3 of those that give you a really great look and a really great feel to play those expressive sounds out of the TD25 module. Additionally, we have our PD128S snare drum, which has gone from 10 inches now to 12. Not only does it look cool with the black chrome, but again, the sensibility across the head of this drum really reacts like an acoustic snare drum. And again, you're able to get those expressive sounds out of the module just like an acoustic drum. Rounding it all out, as we can see, is the 18-inch bass drum. This drum, the KD180, really moves a lot of air when you're playing it with the beater, so it feels great to the player, and it has that mass pushing against you that we come to expect from an acoustic drum set. And not only does it feel great, and the playability is great, but it looks amazing on stage, and so now the V-drums really pop on stage as a performance drum kit. And this is a definite go-to model for on-stage performance, thanks to the 25 supernatural sounds, the expressiveness of all the pads, and the visual look of the drum set itself. And you can get all of this on-stage presence without that flagship price.
So that was Pat Kennedy there, just taking us through the TD25 KBX. I'd like to welcome to the stage once again Takehiro Mirai from our R&D department in Japan, who's going to tell us a little bit more about it. So Mirai-san, obviously the KD180 has the great look, but is it just looks?
No, it is trigger part. So, however, this drum shell has a purpose beyond the only looks. It provides air damping. KD180 has a real drum head. When the beat hits the head, this compresses air in the shell, which provides a real bass drum feeling.
So essentially, when the drummer plays the bass drum and buries the beater into the head, they're actually getting real resistance from the air inside, just like you would with an acoustic drum.
Yes.
Wow, fantastic. Raisin, thank you very much just for that information there. So the KD180 is the 18-inch version, but there's actually a bigger brother, the 22-inch version of the same product called the KD220. Now, the KD220, of course, has a larger playing surface, but it's also significantly bigger, which is going to help with the stage presence. Just like with the KD180, that KD220 kick drum will be available individually and is compatible with V-drums past and present as well. Of course, the KD220 is also included in the upper model of the TD50 series now, the TD50 KVX, and that one is going to top out the range, giving all of the fantastic playability and looks with the flagship series. So in just a few minutes, I'm going to welcome back to the stage that Belgian powerhouse, Michael Schack, to perform for us once again. Before that, I'd just like to say that we are very, very excited about the products and the new gear that we're launching. And if anybody would like any more information on those, please visit Roland.com, where you will find a lot more information and, of course, more video content there as well. So just before we see Michael, it gives me great pleasure to welcome to the stage Gordon Raisin, Roland Corporation's CSO, and for him just to say a few words.
Thank you, Jules. And thank you all for joining us for the introduction of these great new Roland drum kits, including the fantastic all-new TD17 series. Percussion, in its many forms, has been at the heart of Roland since our foundation almost 50 years ago. And it's the music being made and enjoyed by our fans that inspires us and drives us to constantly innovate our instruments, always seeking to bring the highest quality design and manufacturer to deliver the ultimate drum experience. And I hope the webcast has given you just a small idea of how the TD17 has been designed to make us all better drummers. And more importantly, inspire our creativity and our enjoyment. But don't take our word for it. TD17 is available now to audition in Roland drum stores around the world. Why don't you go and experience them for yourselves? Finally, I'd like to give some thanks. And my thanks to our performing artists, Jordan West, Michael Schack, Luke Holland. Also thanks to Sam Stokes from Melodics. And thanks to my Roland colleagues, the guys here in LA who put on a fantastic show for everybody around the world, and especially those geniuses that design and create our drums. And finally, again, thanks to our fans for giving us the inspiration to create the ultimate drumming experience. I'm Gordon Raisin. Thank you for your time. I now hand across to the superhuman Michael Schack to play us out. Thank you.